after Emily's death, the Rawlings came to Gary and I and said, we want to do something. We intend to give a scholarship. That's a given. But we want to do something more. And they said, you think about it and get back with us in a week or so with some suggestions.
The thing that keeps coming to my mind is something I think Robert Redford said when he founded Sundance, was something to the effect that he felt like there was a hole in his industry. There was something missing that he could provide with this venue for new directors to provide their works. And I just said, is there a hole in your industry? And I remember Gary, they were sitting on that green couch downstairs, and I remember Lydia just, her eyes got big and she put her hand over her mouth and looked at Gary, and he said, yeah, there is.
We then became aware that the school had purchased a parcel of land and were possibly willing to give up part of it for a theater under Mr. Wyatt's direction.
Emily was an outstanding theater student. She had an unbelievable love for theater. She was excellent in theater. She did outstanding work in theater. And Emily was also a dreamer. And this theater is a dream. It was a dream. It's been a dream for years. It was a dream of my wife and I for years. And the continuation of that dream in Emily's name is, I think that's probably as nice a thing as we could do, because it's an ongoing endeavor. And Emily was, she was an ongoing type individual in that she was constantly meeting new challenges.
I got a call from Don one afternoon, and it was rather interesting, because he and I worked together on several projects over the years, and he called and said, I have an interesting project that I wanted to talk to you about. And I said, okay. He said, how'd you like to do an outdoor theater up in Wimberley? Being someone that's very interested in theater and have done some similar projects like that, it was obviously very, very intriguing.
It was probably the end of February when the work began in earnest. The only thing Gary knew is there were two sets of oak trees, and he wanted his stage to be centered in between.
Everybody's really open to letting the land and feelings and what's there tell us what we need to put there to make it all work better.
There's commitment at such a deeper level that it's just compelling, that you just have to do it.
You have seen retirees working right alongside kids who are 10, 11, 12, 13 years old for the same reason, for the same purpose, for the same common goal.
I'm sure she's up there looking down on us, and I'm hoping that we'll all really benefit.
everybody's got their own reason. Some do it for the community. Some do it for the theater kids. Some do it for the Rollins. Some do it for Emily. Some do it to feel good about themselves. I mean, and all those are okay. It's just pretty amazing to watch. And I don't think everybody can, verbalize why they're out there exactly, but they know a good thing when they see it. This has very little to do with Shakespeare and has a lot to do with discipline and self-esteem and preparing these kids not only for college but for the rest of their life.
I think the biggest thing is that it's brought out gifts in people that I don't think they knew they had, and I don't think that we knew they had.
The main thing that kids get from theater, period, is self-discipline. And self-discipline is something you have to have regardless of what you're going to do or regardless of what your vocation happens to be.
It's about love, and it's about people being creative and having a miracle there. But it's an amazing thing when people trust something bigger than themselves.
It's just one of those that there's no end. It can continue to evolve. It can continue to be something more than what it originally was intended to be.
This is a place where people can come and they're inspired.
That's why they go to art. That's why they go to drama and other forms of the arts, the fine arts. I think they go to those things because they find ways to complete themselves. They find ways to express themselves.
Theater is the conscience of a culture. If a community doesn't have some form of theater, then we're glued in front of the TV set and there's no sense of community.
The community has been just incredible as far as their support and their energy that they've brought into the whole project. It would not have happened without the community getting behind it.
There's so many different kinds of people involved for so many different reasons, so it just spreads that much further. It's not just the kids' parents, the theater kids' parents. It's not just friends of Ann and Norm. It's just everybody in the community.
You all don't understand how quickly this is going to grow, how rapidly it's going to grow. That it's that old Field of Dreams theory: if you build it, they will come.
Norm and Ann Rollin in the EmilyAnn Theater, you truly exemplify the powerful combination of family and community. Even in the midst of your tragedy, you managed to rally your family and your community together in a way that will allow EmilyAnn's legacy to carry on for generations.
Your courage to rise above the loss and your determination to celebrate her life and her dreams will afford future students the same opportunity to experience the thrill of performing Shakespeare under the stars.
While nothing will ever take the place of EmilyAnn, this theater will ensure that her spirit and name will live forever.
I commend EmilyAnn's parents for their love of young people and their strength after the tragic loss of their daughter. You have truly honored EmilyAnn's memory. Laura joins me in sending best wishes for every success with the EmilyAnn Theater. Sincerely, George W. Bush.
I'd like to introduce my father, who I admire, and he and my mothers are definitely my heroes, and I know that they're each blessed by your presence also. My father, Norman Rollin.
Where the dream goes from here, we don't know. Because you only live one day at a time, and that's all any of us have is today. I will say this in behalf of the board of EmilyAnn Theater. Everything that happens on this site that we have any control over, and we will control it, will be done to celebrate the dignity of the human spirit and the desire of that human spirit to rise above what the world might tell it should be, to the beauty and the fullness of what God intended for each of us to become. All of us are gift. All of us are uniquely and wonderfully made in the image of our God. And I personally believe and I personally know that the Spirit of God is very alive on this place.
It's hardly every day. It's most unusual, in fact. I can't remember when, but sometimes a day goes by when I don't think of her till morning comes. And then there she is again.
People ask me, is it hard, do you mind speaking about EmilyAnn Rowland? And I have to say that, at least for now, it's the greatest joy, because she has left me so much more than she took. What would she be like now, 2 years later, as an 18-year-old going to college? I don't know that, but what I do know is what she was like and what she left and what she challenged me to be. Those are the things that I'll probably work a lifetime on.